of the United Kingdom, what do you truly think of in your part of the world? I'd love to know, by the way. Of course, to the rest of the world, people see us all drinking tea, stopping for afternoon tea with jam and scones and, cucumber sandwiches, everybody sitting down as if we had the time. I'd love to though, wouldn't you? Definitely would love that. But of course there are other things, aren't there, that signify that you're in England. Brilliant fish and chips, particularly if you're in the north of England. Yes, let me tell you, we serve it with gravy up there. And then of course the iconic things, not just things like Buckingham Palace, Tower Bridge, but the red buses of London. Everybody knows that particular brand. But there's something else, of course, also that really signifies that you're in London, or indeed the United Kingdom, and it's something now that sadly isn't used as much as it used to be. We're talking, of course, about the wonderful red telephone boxes, a part of our culture for so many years. But did you know that they could have been a totally different design, and more importantly, a totally different colour? So how historical are the red boxes to you? And tell me, have you ever had a picture taken outside of one when you've come to visit? As ever, let me explain. We have Sir Charles Gilbert Scott to thank for the country's iconic red telephone box. He was born in Leathy-Hampstead in 1880 and grew up with his mother and brothers in Battersea, South London. He spent the weekends in the Sussex countryside, and Giles's mum encouraged him and his brother to become architects, and the rest, as they say, is history. Now you may be surprised to hear that Giles's design for the iconic box, which was actually originally called the K2 box, was inspired by a tomb. It was that of the architect Sir John Soane's wife. Soane's memorial at St Pancras Old Church was raised over the grave of his wife. The inspiration came when Sir Gilbert Scott was a trustee at the Soane Museum. The shape and the curve and the roof of the tomb boast a striking resemblance to what's become Britain's iconic telephone boxes. Now what may surprise you more is that Giles did not want his telephone boxes to be red. He wanted them to be silver and made from steel. But the post office changed the colour to red and made them from iron. Luckily, the architect didn't seem to mind too much, and he went on to design the K3 and the even smaller K6 kiosks that also filled the streets across the country. Now, like a lot of people who of course created so many iconic things, they didn't really seek the limelight, He was happiest behind the desk, designing things, chain smoking, and having basically a normal life. But isn't it reassuring to know what he left behind still remains today? And not many people truly know the history of our iconic red phone boxes. Now the only difference where you won't find red phone boxes is Kingston upon Hull. That's right, in the East Riding of Yorkshire. There's a cream. Now if you want to know the reasons why they're cream, I'll let you do that particular research yourself, because as ever, it's fascinating. But lots of people, when they go up to the East Coast, particularly if you're going to the seaside, once you pull into Kingston upon Hull station, Hull Paragon as it's called, you will see those first and foremost. And everybody asks the same question: why are they cream? Take a look, find out, and honestly, you will be surprised, as you are possibly to know the full history of these wonderful red iconic boxes. And as I said earlier in the video, tell me, did you ever have a picture taken outside? And did you want one inside holding the phone, letting people know finally you're in our wonderful country, England? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.